to go up, assuming so. All good. In the right place.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I guess my father figure would be my dad. He was just a very hard-working man. Well, he's retired now, but he was a hard-working man. There was high unemployment, but I guess I had my dad to look up to because he was always hard-working. He always made sure that he provided for the family.
So my dad, actual dad, he died when I was 6 months old. He was in a car accident. So father figure wise, it was my granddad. And if I ever, sort of wanted any advice, I'd go and speak to him. My mum did remarry when I was about 7. Unfortunately, he turned out to be an alcoholic, a bit of a bully. Used to smack my mum around, used to hit me. Never hit my sister for some reason, which I'm quite glad about. But yeah, he wasn't someone that I could ever talk to. Obviously, it was sad that my dad died, and he was never around, and obviously I didn't want that for my children. But then again, I didn't want to be like his name was George. Yeah, I didn't want to be like him, because I think if you're going to be like him, then you're just better off not being around children.
When we went on holiday to Wales every year. My dad kind of come alive. I guess I just tried to do that more on a fortnightly basis when I picked you up. So, it was probably easier in some respects that it was every other week, and I made sure I had to do something.
I packed in smoking, which was a massive thing at the time because I was smoking about 40 a day. I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, have a cigarette, roll over, and go back to bed. I'd never even get out of bed to do it. But I didn't want to smoke around kids because not only are you responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for someone else as well.
I mean, there's one thing that I always do regret, very early on. And that is not being stronger with your mom about something. So, so...
What's that something?
It's your surname. So it's always something that grates on me that your surname isn't my surname. And me and your mom had massive arguments about it. So I don't think it's really something that I regret about bringing you up, but I think I regret not making more of a stance to your mom and saying no. And I think it's probably a macho thing, but it's something that I still don't like to this day.
Yeah, I think certainly when we were going through our troubled years, I think maybe I could have been, I want to say, adult about it. Yeah, because I think probably at sometimes you did infuriate me. And I think what happened was that I would come down to your level and sort of react instead of being an adult and parenting. There were times where I felt like you didn't want me around. So, like Christmas Day, when I proposed to your mum, I put that ring in the cracker, and sort of your mum pulled it apart, and we did the whole, proposal thing, and you started crying. Yeah, maybe we should have spoken about that at the time, and got to the bottom of why that was.
I always think that Mark's been like a good guy, so he's always been really approachable. I think we've got a good relationship, and I think actually I've said at times I think I've got a better relationship with Mark than your mum, because he just seems an approachable, nice guy. He's a Villa fan, which isn't good, but but overall I think he's a really nice guy. So I think we've got a good relationship, and we've had some good talks over the years.
As far as I know, I think we're getting all right. We don't really see that much of each other. Yeah, I mean, if I see him in the pub or buy him a drink, I've got nothing against him. He's always done all right by you, which is the main thing.
There always is some jealousy. There is, but I think as I touched on before, I think the fact that when I met him, I realised he was a nice guy. That actually, I kind of trusted him.
If there was, he never said anything to me, and he never come across as though he was. And from my point of view, no. I don't think there's anything to be jealous of.
I think it's just somebody that supports you, and somebody that's approachable, and somebody that's like not just a dad but also a friend. I say to you, you can come to me with any issues that you've got, just like I can speak to my best mate and stuff. So you're like a best mate to me.
I suppose more of a mate, a friend, someone that you can talk to, someone that if you're in trouble for whatever reason, I don't mean bad trouble, but that you can come and talk to me about it.
I guess that phrase just comes from somebody having like personality traits of, being around somebody, so you kind of have the same mannerisms, and I guess that's what it is. And I think it comes from probably genetics, and also from just being around each other so much.
I think you will have traits of me in you. You will have traits of your dad in you, and also your granddad, because your granddad was a big part of your life in your early years, wasn't he? So I think there will always be little things in you that you can, you'll look at it and you'll go, that's what his dad does, or that's what granddad does.
I think it's really accurate. I think as a kid, most little boys' heroes are their dads. I think mine probably was anyway. And I think there's a degree of your whole life where you're just trying to sort of carry everything that you admire about them with you. And I think I've done that, but I've got to do that with multiple people. So, because I think I'm a lot like both of them, and I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm more like one than the other, but I think it's definitely accurate, because like if you're not like the one consistent role model, then what are you like? Obviously, I'm my own guy as well. There's so much about me that's not them. Like I've learned stuff to avoid from them, and also just generation-wise, like there's stuff that we've just experienced different. But I think it's pretty accurate. Yeah, like father, like son, like fathers, like son.